just to make sure, stay focused so we can make the most of our time. And with that, Michelle, I should be giving you the gavel so you can. Good evening, everyone. We now convene the Minturn Town Council meeting of December 4th, 2024. And with that, do roll call, please.
Kate here.
Tom here.
Dusty here.
Brian here.
Lynn here.
Eric here.
And Earl is here. And with that, let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next, we have approval of the consent agenda. Anyone want to pull anything?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Kate seconds.
Motion by Trustee, second by Kate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have approval of the regular agenda. Any revisions, amendments?
No, sir.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Kate seconds.
Is it Kate? Motion by Eric, second by Kate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Does the board have any issue on the agenda that you need to declare a conflict of interest? Hearing none, we will carry on. Next item on the agenda is public comment. This is part of the meeting where if you want to address council on any issue you have, and that issue is not on the agenda, then now is the time to come up and speak. Do we have anyone there? Okay, Jay, anybody out there?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, we'll move on. Next is council comments and committee reports.
None.
I'd just like to comment on the Public Works crew, the great job they did with snow removal with the amount of snow we got in a 48-hour period. And I did hear from 2 citizens that actually made stops by the house just to say how grateful they were that they've done such a great job. So it's always nice to hear positive comments. So
Yeah,
thanks to Public Works.
thank you, Gusty. Brian?
I'd just like to make the comment that my neighbor actually saw a wolf in Minturn near the river and another one chasing a deer. So they are definitely here.
Okay.
Nothing for me.
All right, then I won't slow anybody down. We'll go on to the next. Oh yes, I did want to mention we have a great First Friday coming up this Friday. The Eagle River Distillery is putting on quite a significant celebration. Also that evening we'll have our tree lighting ceremony as well. So look on. We have announcements on that all over the place. So it'll be a fun night, Friday night, and then Saturday is the winter market, right? Okay.
Has it been renamed officially?
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
Like next month.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. You have a report for us, Michelle?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do have a couple of items I want to bring to everyone's attention before I introduce Deputy Harrison, who will be talking to us for just a minute about a really great opportunity for Minturn to take part in increasing safety in town. So first off, I just wanted to point out in your packets, you will all see the Community Energy Efficiency Program and our goal to bring that in-house to save money on administrative costs. We will still be doing the complete program of rebates as provided currently. However, because our funds are so limited, we want to ensure any of those funds that we have are making it to our residents. And so therefore it'll be coming in-house for 2025. For anybody who is not aware, the Minturn seniors do bingo on Fridays. It is serious, it is cutthroat, and you should go. Town staff went a couple Fridays ago for lunch and bingo, and it was a really great time. And one of them had a cake with her face on top of the cake, and it was just a really fun experience. They know so much about Minturn with so much history that it was a really enlightening experience, and I learned that I am not as competitive as I had thought, and they really are. It's really worth your time if you can go. You need to call and make a reservation first. Do not make that mistake. Lastly, I want to take a minute to introduce Deputy Harrison. So Deputy Harrison reached out to me a couple weeks ago,
Yes, ma'am.
a month ago, and provided this opportunity to Minturn, whereby I learned that certain things are occurring whereby we could be more a part of solutions to safety issues. Deputy Harrison, if you could please just come up to the podium so I could stop talking about this, since I know almost nothing, but you know all of this information. So this is on the first topic of the packet called License Plate Reader Proposal. And there's a proposal in your packet that goes over what this program is about and the anticipated estimated costs associated. Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you. So yeah, like she explained, my proposal is for license plate readers to be placed within the town of Minturn. Currently, we operate 4 license plate readers in Eagle County. We've had great success with them in tracking stolen vehicles, tracking anyone who might have a warrant hit, Amber Alert, an armed and dangerous, any type of that stuff, as well as they are key into our drug investigations. You know, the stuff you see on I-70, those all stem from license plate readers. Currently, how it works is in real time, our deputies driving around, we have a program on our computers that anytime a vehicle passes through one of our license plate readers that has one of those alerts, it pops up to the front of our computer screen and it tells us what the type of alert is, the direction and travel of that vehicle, the make and model, and shows us a picture of it to where we can confirm the license plate is the correct reading and can confirm that warrant or whatever the alert might be. And we're able to go out and try and track that person down and get them into custody. We've had multiple arrests off of that. You know, one of my best cases with that we've had locally is we had a stolen vehicle report. The vehicle was stolen probably 4 hours before we got the call. Within an hour of us getting the call, I had that vehicle pulled over and the people in custody in the state of Utah. And we were able to get that vehicle recovered with minimal damage to it and back to the owner. The price of these license plate readers is $10,634.40 per camera. And that covers a 5-year period of its lifetime. So anytime that the camera might go down or needs warranty or repairs or replacement, we get it shipped back to us in that 5-year lifetime for free. It's also an extremely easy camera to put up where I can actually do it individually with a ladder. I just go up to a pole and clamp it on, and it's operated by solar power and it runs that way. It's not something designed to spy or to, you know, it's not going to track speeds. It's not going to let us be, you know, that big brother type of thing. It's more of us to use it in investigation purposes where if we have a string of, you know, car break-ins in the town of Minturn and we know that that person came into Minturn at 3 in the morning, I can look at all the vehicles that came into the town of Minturn at 3 in the morning, start running them and seeing which plate is the one that doesn't belong here, you know, and we can start to use that as an investigative lead to tracking down suspects and preventing crime in the town of Minturn. Where it stands right now is on I-70, which is where a majority of our crime comes through. We have license plate readers. This Colorado State Patrol has license plate readers in Clear Creek County, and the Garfield County Sheriff's Office has them in the Canyon. So coming in and out of Eagle County on I-70, we can track stolen vehicles that way. The other egress point, Highway 24, there's none. Going up into Lake County, coming through Minturn, there's nothing. So if we get stolen vehicles using this as a route of egress from Eagle County or any type of criminal related activity, they basically fly through, you know, and I explained this to the town manager. Within about 3 weeks ago, I had a vehicle that we were stopping that we suspected was involved in drug smuggling. I had it hot listed, so I knew when it came into the county. They actually got into a car chase with us. They fled. And, you know, because of their speed and the recklessness, we called it off. And I came into the town of Minturn and found them hiding on Eagle Street. And yeah, and it resulted in another car chase, you know, from there. But that's one of the times where had we had, you know, a license plate coming into the town of Minturn, we would have been notified of that ping immediately, and we could have got in there and, you know, probably got into custody without and another car chase resulting. Unfortunately, they got away. Hate to say it, but it happens. So currently with the license plate readers, we share data with other agencies that have them, and they share their data back with us. Right now, I have data being shared in all metropolitan agencies within the United States from every state in the country. So there's, if a vehicle is stolen, if there is a homicide suspect that we're trying to track from, wherever, we can see, if they go anywhere in the nation, there's a good chance that they're going to ping on one of these cameras and we can track them and try and get them into custody. I used to work for the Broward County Sheriff's Office in Florida. They've done this exact same thing on a homicide that we had down there at the time and solved that homicide within 48 hours because of this type of technology. I know it is a little bit pricey, but I do think the benefits outweigh the cons, and the sales representative from Vigilant is willing to work with us, and they've offered a discount. If we order within a certain time frame, they have offered a discount on the price and stuff, and I'm more than happy to reach out to them and see what we can try and work out for the town of Minturn to best, fit our needs.
So is that something that we would be paying for, or the county sheriff's office, since we contract with the sheriff's department, or?
So it would be coming out of the town of Minturn budget, yes, sir.
Okay.
Where do the cameras on I-70, who funds those? State?
Those are those individual agencies. So the Garfield County Sheriff's funds it, and then the Colorado State Patrol. And part of the issue that we're running into with the ones on I-70 is we would like to have cameras up on our I-70 ourselves, or, along Highway 6 or Highway 24. But the state of Colorado doesn't like to play, nice in that type of sense. There's some kind of order from the Colorado Department of Transportation where we cannot use their infrastructure, we cannot use their electricity. We have to have something else, and that's where the town of Minturn is key in this, is because you guys maintain your own light poles. We don't need CDOT's permission to put them on your guys' light poles. You can give us that go ahead because they're your light poles. I would have to get permitting through the CDOT, which is not an issue. It's super easy because it would be within the right of way of Highway 24. But because it's the town of Minturn maintained poles, they toss us out like candy.
So CDOT's unhelpful, that's shocking.
I don't want to put all the blame on them. Yeah.
So I saw a $21,000 figure. Is that before any discount?
That is before the discount. Yes, ma'am. They have not given me the discount or anything like that. It's during the my email conversation with the sales representative. He said that he can calculate some kind of discount. I don't know what the discount is, but that's, he brought that forward.
So how many cameras would you need?
So I think realistically, I think 2 would suffice in the town of Minturn. Highway 24 is the main route in and out of Minturn, and the roads are narrow enough that one camera facing in on both directions will cover vehicles leaving both ways because of the front plate and the back plate. So I think 2 could suffice and cover Minturn in helping us track any, type of criminal activity that's coming in and out of the town.
It seems like, useful, but given that people could do something bad in Vail and then drive through, or Avon and then drive through, is there a way that we could ask some of the other towns to share the cost in this? 'Cause it's kind of a common good.
They have their own systems that are already up that they're paying for themselves.
Oh, so
Vail has this camera system or something very similar that shares the data, and so does the Avon PD.
Okay, so it's not just the cameras on 70.
Correct. Yes, there's also cameras on surface streets and stuff like that within the town of Avon and the town of
They're
Vail.
everywhere.
Apparently not near your house, though.
Not near our house. So that's when we initially had this discussion, from what I was hearing about this program, was it really sounded like Highway 24 was a gap in the system, whereby I didn't want to leave the opportunity for this type of activity to be continually coming through the Minturn community, knowing it's a gap. So we wanted to bring it forward to you all to consider, given that this is a clear egress in and out of Eagle County.
Well, that and the fact we want to avoid at all costs any scenario of a high-speed chase, and secondarily, they're able to get away because of the unfortunate regulations of having to minimize risk.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've thought of this, but we just heard last council meeting,
Yeah.
a proposal to look at speed cameras that identify license plates. Is there any way that the systems talk to each other or the? No.
Yeah. And we talked that they do not.
Correct, yeah. From my understanding, I'm not entirely sure of the system that those speed cameras you guys are looking at, who maintains or operates them, but they don't feed to one another. Where this camera tile is different is that it's connected to the National Crime Database. So, like I said, anytime that a warrant or anything like that is attached to a license plate, we get those notifications because, you know, we're law enforcement, whereas a speed camera, it might just track the vehicle and the license plate and the speed, but it's not going to give us registered owner. It's not going to give us any of that information that we would normally give with these type of cameras.
I'm completely in favor, but I'd also like to have a chat with Redcliffe and Leadville. Because 24 is state highway, and as you noted, it is the gap in an otherwise defended area as far as 70 Avon and Vale are concerned. So vehicles that are transiting, whether they're stolen, etc., from the south or the north, either direction, and obviously I get it that we're kind of the choke point. I'm on board, but it would be nice to have that conversation just to offset a little bit. They're going to benefit from it as well without having to pay for it.
Is this an item similar to the Cross Creek stream gauge where we support this and move forward, but additionally have calls to see if we can get financial contributions?
Absolutely.
It seems like a good way to use any potential funds that might be generated through traffic enforcement through the other system. But I'm just throwing that out there. I know
You said this
we
was
don't see
just
that.
a one-time thing, and we didn't have to do this every year, pay the 21,000 annually, is it?
Correct, yes, sir.
Is
It covers
it
5 years.
5 years,
Yeah.
okay.
The cameras last 5 years, is the typical lifestyle.
So with that 5 year, what you do a replacement on these or?
Yeah, that's when you reevaluate and see if, you know, your needs have changed, you know, how current crime trends are and, you know,
Okay.
what the actual needs for the town are.
Okay, and if we decide we want it, we have to re-up again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, is it just a subscription we're re-upping or?
It would depend. If the cameras are still up and running, then that's probably good. It would kill the life or the warranty of it. So, you know, if there was something to go down with the cameras after the 5-year life cycle wouldn't be replaced. But I do know, you know, some of the cameras that were down in Mesa County were going a little bit longer than the 5-year life cycle.
Could the salesman be a little less evasive about his extended Cyber Monday sale and be a little more forward on exactly what he wants to charge you?
Yeah, I can ask him. I'm like I said, I was waiting to see what the type of discount is, but yeah, I can send him an email and forward that to the town manager and let you guys be all advised of it.
To add to Tom's point, you may have already asked the county, but can we also ask the county for some funding?
Eagle County and not the sheriff's office? Do you want to take this brief moment right now to ask the sheriff's office?
Yes, can we get a little help on?
I can definitely ask for sure.
So if we were to approve it though today, that's public record, and what incentive would they have to give us a discount?
The sales rep,
Yes.
that's what they said is that if we order it, you know, if it's approved and ordered in the month of December, they'll throw a discount at us. I don't know. I mean, I'm just going off their word. So I don't think we've had a very good relationship with Vigilant and Motorola, the operators and the providers of the cameras. And I haven't had any issues with them trying to pull
So
fast ones.
maybe we could approve it subject to appropriate discount.
If you could just give us an exact number.
Yeah, I will send that email tomorrow. He was actually asking me, he was gonna call me tomorrow to figure out how the meeting went. And so
Okay.
I will get an exact number for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay. Education. Where are we now? We are on, did you have anything else to mention? Okay. We're on to business items. Resolution 64, Series 2024.
Yes, yeah, everybody's
And that is a resolution appointing a board member for our Education Fund Board.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is a really great part of the Minturn repertoire of opportunities that are provided to residents within the town. The Minturn Education Fund Board was created through the 2008 again at the time, annexation agreement, which put $350,000 into an escrow account broken into two accounts based on policies that were primarily identified as being utilized for the purposes of maintaining their balance through using only interest, so that this would be an opportunity in perpetuity for Minturn residents of all ages that wanted to seek additional education opportunities. With that, the Education Fund Board was created, and we now have a board made up of Minturn residents and council members that meets annually to review the education fund scholarship applications. And then we interview each of the applicants, which is really the best part, and award funds for that next education cycle. Education can be anything from a standard four-year college to trades. So it's very open as to how folks would like to use those funds. We currently have two matters that we need to address on the board this evening. One, I realized I have too many members, so I need either Kate or Eric to step down.
Get out.
So I think Kate will remain, because Eric, I think, has been told he's already overextended by his family. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you both so much. And then additionally, we put out a notice to the community to see if anybody was willing to step up and throw their names in the hat to be considered for the open public seat. It was very exciting that we received 3 incredible submissions from Minturn residents, all very qualified, as you've seen. One of those submissions has rescinded their application after seeing the other applicants that have applied, and Diana Schur wanted to ensure that more people could be involved in Minturn processes. So Diana stepped out of the running. So now we have 2 applicants left, both of whom are here tonight to talk about their interest in taking part in this board. So we have little ballots if it gets so serious that we need to really go to a secret vote. Otherwise, if you'd like to talk to each of the applicants, they're here this evening to see who would be a great fit. And in addition to that, Diana Schur has identified that the Minturn Community Fund has additional programs called, I think it's called the Kid Turn. And she asked that I please ask either of the applicants that does not make the Education Fund Board to consider if they would be willing to sit on the Minturn Community Fund Board for the Kid Turn program.
Cool.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so with that, we would like to have either one of you, I kind of know both of you guys.
You can come, I was like, we can come up
So who wants to
together.
go
I
first?
was like, we can come together.
Yeah, I know, right?
She's awesome. I'm
I
fine
know, I
with
was
it.
like,
Me too.
Christina and Lindsay,
Hi,
good to
I'm
have you
Lindsay.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
Christina.
So, would you like to just speak to how you would like, why you would want to be on this board?
I'll go first. I've been in education for 20 years. I am currently a principal of the online school, World Academy, for the school district, and I've been working with teenagers for 20 years. Makes me feel really old when I say that. I think that it's very important to give back to your community, and this is one way that I can give back to the community. I also think that it's really important to support students as individuals, which is something that I've always done. And I think this fits really well with my current work and my current belief of how can we help students succeed. Worked with a lot of kids over the years. I feel like I could contribute my knowledge of just how schools work, questions about post-secondary options, and I feel like I could help support kids in this role like I currently do in my big job. My big job, real job.
Your turn, Lindsay.
Yeah, I agree with everything Christine had to say. I think I've been here in Minturn for 15 years and haven't gotten as involved as I would like to, kind of in our community while raising my 3 little kids. They take up a lot of time. I work part-time at the hospital, so I've had a career in medicine for 20 years now, coming up on it, which is crazy to me. So as far as, education goes, I don't have an education background. I have a medical background. I'm a nurse practitioner at the hospital here in Vail. I have served on a few different councils, or kind of deciding some scholarships towards, different volunteerism kind of back in the past with Vail. So I would say I don't have the education background, but I'm familiar with, education needs and what it means to have a advanced education, and it's something I'm really passionate about, as well as investing in kids, especially here locally in Minturn. So I guess our only difference, for you guys to decide would be someone who's very, very, used to all things education, or if you want to diversify it a little bit, I can bring a little different background to this decision, but I think.
And I'd be happy to sit on either.
Yeah,
so.
same, same. So
Yeah.
I think it's
Glad
kind
you
of a
both
toss up. So, yeah.
As a former member of the Minturn Community Fund, they always need qualified board members. So with that new program, both of you would be qualified. So, anyway, does anybody from the board have any questions for either candidate?
Thanks for coming to both of you. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. Happy to. Absolutely. Okay.
I guess we go to election.
Do we need formal ballots?
It's up to you.
We have them if you'd like them. They're named. Brian.
We have to do one. Like it seems like there was 6 before. So what? Because didn't somebody just step down? How many big? Could we just have both jump on there and value both their opinions?
No, I had one too many.
Oh.
But we wanted to make sure we included the public, so I asked a council member to step down. Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and pass them out then.
Okay. I think that's all of them. You take the one with your name on it.
Just some background music.
It's easy for me. Just
You might need a pen.
wait, I might have Gus's.
I have
I
Brian's.
guess it doesn't really
You
matter.
guys- you
Oh,
guys-
I voted for you, Tom.
I didn't see their names. I didn't even look.
You're gonna Kate.
Already vote?
Please, please.
I already voted, I'm sorry.
You fold them?
So if you want.
No, you don't need to
I
fold.
thought I'd just trade you.
If you're willing to get here.
I'll just trade you.
No, take it. You're good. Can't trust politicians to run elections.
To be sure, whoever doesn't win is going to get on the Minturn Community Fund Board.
All right. Sure.
Michelle, there's more.
Thank you.
It is a phenomenal committee. So whoever gets it, it's a lot of fun.
Get to where we get to the
It's the best, which is why I threw Eric off.
Seven board members.
Yeah.
6, right? We're about a tie.
It does.
Sure. We started a little early.
It's that Magusto's piece that's really settling in.
Getting you sleepy.
No, it's a bunch of second reading.
Christina.
Okay, Christina, congratulations. And Lindsay, congratulations. You're gonna enjoy the book.
Yes.
The kid turn.
Send me the info. I've never heard of it.
That's wonderful. If
Yeah.
that's okay with you, I will
Please,
send that
please
over.
do, yeah.
Yes, she specifically asked.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's you're awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Earl, it's speed round, second readings.
Next item, ordinance number 21, series 2024, second reading. An ordinance creating a
We have to do a
supplemental.
resolution on this one?
Oh, we have to
I think we
approve the
have to do a
resolution
on
first.
this one for appointing.
Excuse me, yeah. Go ahead, make the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 64, series 2024, resolution appointing Christina to Minturn Education Fund Board.
Eric seconds. Motion by Gusty, second by Eric, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Alrighty. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right now, speed.
Now can I do it? Okay. Ordinance number 21, series 2024, second reading, an ordinance creating a supplemental appropriation to the 2024 town of Minturn budget.
Again, Jay's not wearing his tie, so he is upstairs.
Okay. This is second reading. I assume there's no changes from the first.
Jay?
Yes, sir, excuse me, I meant the wrong one. There are a couple of small changes. And they're noted in the resolution. This is the supplemental. Basically what it is, I went back through after a couple more check runs and added as needed. They are highlighted in red on the following pages. I can bring them up if we need.
Okay. With that, any questions for Jay? Okay, I'll open this up for public hearing. Anybody have any comments on our budget? You got anybody out there, Jay?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing. And entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 21, series 2024, supplemental appropriation of the Minturn 2024 budget.
Kate seconds.
Motion by Tom, second by Kate. Roll call, please.
Kate, aye.
Tom, I.
Trustee, aye.
Brian.
Then
Eric, aye.
And Earl, aye. Next, we have ordinance number 22, series 2024, second reading. An ordinance levying general property taxes for the year 2025 to meet general operating cost of government for the town of Minturn, Colorado for the 2025 budget year. And got some minor adjustments there.
Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know what you guys want to do. There are very small adjustments. It comes out to about $2,000, $2,269 increase from the August assessed valuation. And this is mostly due to the changes that were done with the different election at the statewide in November and whatnot.
Okay. Okay, any more questions for Jay? Open it up for public hearing. Any questions from the public? Still nobody online, Jay?
No, sir, there's nobody with their hand up.
Close the hearing.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 22, series 2024, an ordinance levying general property taxes for the year 2025 for the town of Minturn.
Eric, I'll second that.
Oh,
You're going fast enough.
okay, motion by Kate, second by Gusty. Roll call, please.
Kate, aye.
Tom, I.
Trustee, aye.
Brian, aye.
I.
Eric, aye.
And Earl, aye. Next, we have ordinance 23, series 2024, second reading, an ordinance approving revenues, appropriating expenditures, approving transfers, and adopting the town of Minturn budget for the period beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending in the last day of December 2025.
There is one minor change in that, and that is the general fund revenue, which reflects the new mill levy.
Okay,
No questions.
no questions? Open public hearing. Come on, somebody ask something.
No, move on. Don't start incentivizing unnecessary chatter.
Jay,
No, there's nobody in the audience.
close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 23, series 2024. Ordinance appropriating revenues, appropriating expenditures, approving transfers, and adopting the town of Minturn budget for the period beginning on the first day of January 2025 and ending on the last day of December 2025.
Eric seconds.
Motion by Gusty, second by Eric. Roll call.
Kate, aye.
Aye.
Gusty, aye.
Brian, aye.
Yeah.
Eric, aye.
And Earl, aye. Next, we have Resolution 62, Series 2024, adopting the 2025 Town of Minturn fee schedule. Always a fun one.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will just point out one thing, that we have not changed any of the water fees, given that we are awaiting our December 18th water discussion to understand the direction the council would like to go regarding a water treatment plant and the impacts that that would or would not have on the fees. And so we did not want to arbitrarily change the fees without understanding council direction first. Any water fees that need to be adjusted will happen after that meeting.
Any questions on that? Okay, open it up for public hearing.
No one in the audience, sir.
Close the public hearing. Actually, that was a resolution anyway. Okay, motion?
Make a motion to approve resolution 62, series 2024, adoption of annual fee schedule.
Kate, seconds.
Motion by Tom, second by Kate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, Resolution 63, Series 2024, resolution adopting the Net Zero Roadmap.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had an extensive work session on the Net Zero Roadmap at the last council meeting, which is why you don't see anyone from Climate Action Collaborative or Walking Mountains tonight, as there were no follow-up matters to discuss. So the resolution to adopt the Net Zero Roadmap is in front of you all.
Hopefully no one has any questions. Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 63, series 2024, resolution of the town of Minturn Town Council adopting the regional net zero roadmap and committing to collaborative action to achieve net zero by 2030, hopefully sooner.
I'll second that.
Motion by Eric, second by Gusty. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have ordinance 24, series 2024, first reading. An ordinance increasing the short-term rental lodging tax to 6.5%.
Jay, do you want to chime in on this, and then I can?
Sure. This is a result of the election held on November 5th. This was the coordinated election to the county, not the townwide election. And basically what it does, it is increases the lodging tax only for short-term rentals on residential units only. It does not affect commercial properties such as the Eagle River Inn or the Minturn Inn or whatever, because they pay such a high property tax being their commercial properties. This was approved very significantly by the voting public, and this now will incorporate this into our code.
Any discussion on that?
Any other questions from the board?
I mean, it's essentially been voted on. What further discussion do we need?
I would just note that the code change makes clear that traditional lodging, the accommodations tax is unchanged for that. This only applies to short-term rentals.
Okay.
But Tom, to answer your question, this is a necessary step in order to implement this into our code. So it's up to you all what additional discussion would need to take place, but like Jay said, it passed handedly through the vote of the public, the Minturn public.
That would be my only discussion point to reemphasize. It was strongly in favor by the
Correct.
vote.
Okay. So if there's no further discussion, I'll open it up for public hearing.
Nobody in the audience, sir.
Close public hearing. Motion?
Make a motion Motion to approve ordinance 24, series 2024, short-term rental tax increase.
Eric second.
Motion by Tom, second by Eric. Roll call, please.
Kate, aye.
Brown eye.
Trustee, aye. Brown eye.
And then
Eric, aye.
And Earl, aye. And finally, in the business section, we have ordinance 25, series 24, first reading, and ordinance establishing the Minturn Downtown Development Authority.
So also at the last election, there was a sub-organizational election on the ballot to form a downtown development authority. That election was limited to property owners within the proposed DDA's boundaries. A majority of the people who voted to organize a downtown development authority. The DDA will eventually begin looking at projects that can be done in order to benefit the downtown. The DDA does have the ability to finance those projects through what's called tax increment financing. Increased value through redevelopment in the downtown area that results in an upward change in tax collection, that difference can be applied to paying for improvements in the downtown. This ordinance organizes the DDA, essentially similar to the tax that's been voted on, it's been approved, but you as the council need to actually formally organize the DDA. I have noted in here, so you're creating a downtown development board that has 5 governing members. And in section 3, board established, it talks about where those members, who can fill those seats. I'm gonna ask for an amendment that in A and B at the beginning of each of those sentences, that it say at least, because you have a 5-member board, and in rereading this, it's at least 1 member shall be a member of town council. The state statute involving DDAs allows for there to be more than 1 council member if that was what you chose to do. And similarly, the state statute provides that at least, it says a majority, so in this case it would be 3 members, so at least 3 members must be property owners or residents within the designated boundary of the authority. So it's kind of you got 2 different ways. And then you could have a 5th member who might be a planner who lives in Avon, but it makes sense to have that person on your DDA board. At least 1 person doesn't have to either be from council or a property owner or resident within the DDA's boundaries. But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. So happy to answer any questions. Cindy will be getting this up and running starting in January. So we'd like to get the ordinance approved so that it's a properly constituted group.
I say we'll be soliciting letters of intent, of interest. Okay, anybody on the board want to just step up right now?
Sure.
Okay.
On that note, out of curiosity, the local election, how many eligible members within the boundaries voted in what was the outcome?
Jay, I don't know if you perchance heard that question about what the vote total was for the organization of the DDA.
It was, I don't have it right in front of me. It did pass handedly. However, handedly was a very small number. It was like 25, or we had like 40 votes total, 50 votes total.
It was 25 to 12.
25 to 12.
I can get that information for you though.
I guess realistically, what I was wondering was how the business community voted specifically.
I think they were the only ones that.
Weren't there some that were not necessarily business owners, and that, what was the qualifying requirement to vote? I thought it was just in the boundaries,
You own property within the.
just property,
Within the district's bound, proposed
not
bound.
necessarily a business owner.
No, if you own property, if you were a resident of this area, and if you owned and were a resident, and there were cases where multiple voters could come from one property, but only one person, like our standard votes, one vote, one person. So if if you had a company and an ownership, a company and a resident, all three of those might be able to vote, and you would assign people being a physical person versus a company.
But we don't have our hands around specifically the business owners within it, how that panned out, right?
We do have what was filed and who voted. Not what they voted, but the voters that were eligible. We have that information.
Okay, thank you.
I can get that for you, and I'll put it out for you.
I'll just ask business owners, I'm good.
Okay.
Question, not regarding this at all, but both of the last two things, say an something passes, like we are legally obligated to pass something to support that?
No, that's not correct. So we have had an instance here at Minturn where something was passed by the election body. I will bring up 2012.
Yeah.
I can't believe I don't remember the exact date, where Minturn voters approved medical marijuana in the town of Minturn, and the council denied it by ordinance. So it still requires,
One changeover on the board.
yeah, so it still requires the approval by the council to put it formally into our code.
So much money. They're paying for the water tank. No shit.
So that was medical marijuana facility, a dispensary?
No,
Or just
license, just license for it.
Legal
Jeez,
license.
well, I'm just curious if we're gonna resurrect this. Just
I
didn't
tried
know.
to bring that back, but it was also shot down by the council at the time. This was not that long ago. But it could have been more
Oh,
relevant.
yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Thank you, that was just
Anyway.
knowledge, interesting.
So, let's see, this was an ordinance. Open up the public hearing.
Yeah.
Sorry to slow you down. Spence Neubauer, 161 Main Street. I am one of the business owners, but I would caution against putting at least one council member. I would never do two. I would like to keep that separate. One council, DDA.
I think more
That's-
more stakeholders.
More stakeholders, and if it be, because it's quasi-governmental, I guess, I'd rather it to be as separate as possible. So I realize one council member needs to be there, but I wouldn't do more than that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you were looking forward to also joining the board, then
You're a man of many layers, Earl. Many layers.
okay, close the public hearing.
This is why we love these meetings.
So I-
Something.
Go ahead.
Based on the public comment, I still would encourage you to amend the ordinance on item B, that it say at least 3 members shall be property owners. You can leave it that there's only one member that's a town council person. But you could have a situation where your own board says, hey, there's this person who's really smart, but they don't own property in the DDA, we'd like to get them on the board. The state enabling statute allows that to happen. So I would encourage you to at least leave that open. But otherwise, you need, because it's a 5-person board, you have 1 member from the council, you need at least 3 members from the property owners.
Well, I would think most people would agree you'd want stakeholders. You need to have some skin in the game.
But I could see a scenario where you had,
You could, no, but I'm
Yeah.
just emphasizing the 3-member piece here.
yeah,
Based on a 5-member board, so there's still a large person.
right, but if it's at least 3, it could be 4, and then you'd be full, versus like only
Could.
3, and then you have to get some weirdo.
Okay, any other public comment out there? Tim?
No.
Actually, no, I do actually have one quick, it's a question. So what Harrison was talking about with the traffic cameras and stuff, will there be public comment before you guys vote on that? Or is it just you guys discussing it and none of us can know, like, can they track my plate if I drive through Minturn? I didn't do anything wrong, but they won't look me up. You know, and how long do they keep that information and stuff like that?
So that's certainly information that I can ask.
Okay.
You know, the way it was described to me is that it is not something where they're just watching everybody. It's something where something has to be entered into the system and
Right.
then a ping occurs to try to get a very specific
Right.
situation.
But how long do they keep that information is a big thing.
I can certainly ask. I'm sure that there's requirements by law for how they have to, like, just like we have at the municipal level where we have to eliminate
Right.
certain data within a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And we have to keep other data for a certain amount of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So I can see if they can give me that answer.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Tim, you sound a little worried.
No, well, I mean, a lot of my friends, you know.
The chicken man is on a lot of data.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm driving through Minturn a bunch and then all of a sudden someone wants to pull it up and see when I'm driving through.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way off.
All right, so on that note,
So with that, I'll, Jay, is there anybody else with a hand raised out there?
Yes, sir. Hold on just one moment. Larry Stone, you are allowed to speak if you turn your mic on.
Thank you, Larry Stone, 152 Main Street. I am concerned about having to have 3 property owners as being a part of the DDA, where over the years we've seen one property owner, but several business owners, leaseholders. So I'm curious as to why we would want that as opposed to just stakeholders.
Well, you could say that the property owners are stakeholders.
Well,
I think his point is that you could have somebody who doesn't own the property but runs the business,
Correct.
which would be a different thing entirely.
I mean, I don't know if.
well, that's skin in the game.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents is you're a business owner or you're a property owner, one or the other. That means we add that. I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah, I mean, just right now it says property owner or resident. It doesn't.
Well,
I'm trying to imagine scenarios, and I guess we can ask our only property and business owners.
It says
here.
all members shall be property owners, employees, or agents of a business.
Yes, so right now, we're, you know, taking, you know, interest from folks and we will have a formal process, but, you know, someone that is a manager of a business in the mapped area is eligible, is my understanding. Someone that's an employee is eligible. Someone that is a leasee is eligible. A property owner is eligible.
I'm guessing, like, I'm trying to think of like bad situations that could occur. So like, you know, if a business owner, a group of business owners are on there and they're acting against what the property owners might want, that's not going to end well for those business owners, I'd imagine. So there's kind of a check and balance built into that.
The goal is to have a check and balance, you're correct. One thing that we're planning to do as we bring forward these documents to the council for approval is the development plan. I forget if that's the formal name of it. I think it's called the development plan. We'll be looking for the council to approve the annual budget of the Downtown Development Authority so that there's constantly that checks and balance. So that what that will require is that the Downtown Development Authority and the council be constantly communicating on the forward direction of how things go. Not necessarily that, you know, one or the other is in charge. DDA should be in charge of the DDA, but that everybody's communicating at all times.
I mean, I think maybe I'm misunderstanding Larry, but I think his specific concern is that if at least 3 members are property owners, you could conceivably have 4 property owners that do not own a business in the DDA.
I think that's correct.
So like, I think that's the concern, is that you want business owners versus a council member and 4 residents that are not business owners.
That's correct. Thank you for clarifying that.
I believe staff supports that goal of having business owners in addition to property owners.
Well, so realistically, C is all, B is 3. So really all we're doing is shoving business owner. It would be property owner or resident or business owner within the designated boundary under the 3.
Yeah, I think we literally could just delete B, because then you've got one member will be a member of the town council, and all members aside from the town council member shall be property owners, employees, or agents of business.
That covers everything.
Yeah.
Is
Well-
everyone accepting of the elimination of clause B as in boy from section 3 of the ordinance?
Yes, but that doesn't address what Larry's saying, because they could all be property owners then, so they could all fall under C, right?
Yeah, like they could still, in that situation, they would all be property owners, but they still may not be business
That's
owners.
why you are here.
Well,
Your
'cause-
job is to interview people and put the right ones on the board.
'Cause at the end of the
fair point.
day, they're all town council appoints it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we could really screw that up, apparently. All right, so with
As long as
the,
it doesn't come forward with medical marijuana, I think we're all right. You brought it
New
up,
council.
Michelle. You threw that out there, 2012.
I didn't.
I know, you did.
Brian brought it up.
Don't throw toys in a room with children unless you don't.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 25, series 2024, an
Hang on,
ordinance.
let me close the public hearing.
It's hard to know when that opens and closes sometimes.
Okay, got a motion by Kate, who's the second?
No, we
Well,
need
this
to have
is
the motion
within
include the amendments.
So, just to continue,
Well, amend-
ordinance 25, series 2024, an ordinance creating and establishing the Minturn Downtown Development Authority with the one amendment of removing section 3B.
Subsection B.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Kate, second by Lynn. Roll call, please.
Kate, aye?
Tom, I.
That's right.
Brian,
Then I.
Erica.
And Earl. All right, we have no discussion items. What are we missing?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So under future agenda items, I just do want to point out that we have a significant water treatment plant discussion that will be occurring on December 18th. We will be using the orange variable messaging board to communicate this to residents, as well as e-blasts, a notice on the town website, and it will be included in the town newsletter going out next week. We hope anyone that's available can participate or listen online in order to hear the updates that we will be bringing forward from the last council meeting, which gave direction to staff to take 90 days to find any last remaining funding opportunities before requesting a decision be made by the Minturn Town Council on a water treatment plant option.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay, well, there's only one thing left.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Kate, second by Eric, all in favor?
Aye.
2 minutes over an hour.
Woo, that was a scorcher.
Now, we were here an hour before for a work session.